Well, good morning to whoever happens to see this. This is Rob, and it's kind of an interesting day. I'm not even sure where my head is right now. Dealing with some of the usual stuff, some of the usual things I think about and try not to get my mind stuck on. Just various troubles and things that go on. Today, though, well, first of all, today we learned that Rush Limbaugh died. And a lot of people hate his guts. People on the left mostly that don't have very good arguments. But a lot of people are sad by that. Wherever you are, I guess that's up to you. But I guess one of the things that's really on my mind this morning is you know what the right word for it is, the emergency, the cold weather, the things that have been happening. You know, it's kind of weird. Maybe a lot of this stuff I don't take as serious as I should because I've always worked at being ready for these kind of things, power outages or you know, runs on the food in stores and things like that. I don't know. I mean, I take it serious, I guess, but it's not, I guess because we've always been ready here at my place and in my life, then it's never seemed like a earth-ending event or a life-ending event or a life-changing event. We've always worked on being ready for it. And whenever something like this happens, we take it in stride. You know, one of the things that's kind of caught me interesting, not caught me interesting, but I guess occurred to me as interesting is the number of people that I've seen the last few days who supposedly are preparing and getting ready for this kind of thing, and yet after just 3 or 4 or 5 days of it are getting kind of freaked out by it and almost in a panic because of things that are going on. And if you're really trying to get ready for something, I mean, the idea is we're supposed to be getting ready for something in case it happens, a long-term event, like a month-long event. And so when I see people getting upset or maybe not losing their mind, that may be a strong way to put it, but truly getting kind of freaked out by it, it makes me worry about them. It makes me worry about, you know, what will they do if it really goes long term? How will they handle it? You know, how stable are they? I don't know. You know, I've seen a few people that are actually taking this and using it as a learning experience. That's good. I think that's the way to do it. That's the right attitude. I don't know how many of y'all know about Abrivas. He's a guy I think he's down in the San Antonio area, maybe Houston area. You know, I'm not real sure now. I hate to say that, but Abrivas is his channel name, and he's using this right now as kind of a learning experience. He's getting ready to help some other people. You know, he's been practicing this stuff for a long time, and where he is, they're talking about not only he said the water pressure is getting low down there. They're on city water and sewer, but he said they're talking about turning off the natural gas. Why in the world would a utility turn off the natural gas to everybody at a time like this? That's hard to figure. But even if they do, he's trying to be ready for it. A learning experience is the way to look at this, I think, my opinion. You know, back a few years ago, our well quit working, and we used that as a learning experience. Instead of just going out and getting the well fixed, we tried to decide if we wanted to do a solar well or go back the way it was or just whatever. And we used it as a way to teach the girls, and the girls were all about it, you know. All 3 of my girls then, you know, thought it was kind of cool. We did the whole Little House on the Prairie thing, and we brought water from the rain catchment in to use for drinking and cooking, and we would trudge out to the outhouse when we had to do that kind of thing. You know, we made it easy on ourselves. We'd use water to flush the toilet in the house when it was in the middle of the night or if the weather was really too bad to go out. But even in some of the bad weather we had during that time, and we did that for even in some of the bad weather, I started to say we went out to the outhouse. And even during that time, I mean, I don't know. I'm having trouble holding a train of thought here. But the thing is, we did it for about a month and a half. We went without running water in the house. And it was inconvenient for the first few days, but then you figure it out and you get into a rhythm, you get into a routine of how you do things, and it's no big deal, you know. Now, maybe it made it easier that we knew it wasn't going to be a forever kind of a thing, and so, you know, we were able to maybe to have that in the back of our mind and say, oh yeah, this is, you know, just a short-term thing that we're doing on purpose. I'm sure that helps and makes it easier. I guess what I want to do is just encourage everybody to do that, to learn from this, to find the holes in your preparations, find your weak spots where you need to make improvements and do things better. You know, it always amazes me. My mom and dad-in-law live down in South Florida, and every time there's a hurricane, people lose their minds going to the store, buying stuff that they should have already had, getting food that they should have already had, trying to think of everything that they couldn't be bothered to think about in the weeks and months and maybe years before that. And it's not like it's a first-time thing for all of them. For some of those people down there, they've been through that before, but yet they didn't learn anything the last time that they went through it, and they're doing it all over again. A lot of the people buy the stuff that they need. They get all the stuff to prepare and be ready for a storm, whatever kind of storm it is. And then as soon as that storm is over, they get rid of all the stuff. I mean, literally, they would get rid of everything they had. Sometimes they just throw it out. I truly cannot even process that in my pea brain for why they would do something like that. But they do. I don't know. It's just weird to me. I'm grateful to have a lot of the people that I know on YouTube and you know, that I've met and gotten to know and we share similar ideals with. Having that community makes things like that easier. But, you know, what are you going to do? Not everybody thinks the way we do. Certainly not everybody thinks the way I do, and that's probably a good thing, because I know my thinking's pretty fractured sometimes. Anyway, I just wanted to come out and share how pretty this is out here. You know, it's the kind of thing, last March when everything started falling apart, March of 2020, when I came out of the Davis Mountains with Wes and we got down and found out that the world was losing its mind, Wes and I weren't too upset about it. We were worried about our wives, you know, who were not there with us and, you know, back in civilization, but we weren't very worried. We weren't worried about them being without anything. We were just worried about stupid people they might encounter. But honestly, we looked at it and laughed at all the people that had never thought about buying an extra roll of toilet paper or a little bit of extra food in their house. Not laughing at them, but sorry, it's kind of hard to not be amused at people. In this day and time, if you have had your head up your butt if you haven't thought about doing some kind of preparations, having some things ready. And so when we got out of the Davis Mountains and back into civilization and I went to the store, I bought snacks, I bought convenience items, comfort foods, because we were ready on everything else. I was able to walk around at Walmart that was being borderline looted. It wasn't being looted, but, you know, people grabbing up stuff in full carts, and I'm just walking around with some little comfort stuff, and people looking at me like I'm the crazy one. I probably am. Yeah, that's not the first time people have looked at me and considered if I was crazy or not. Different reasons. I don't know. I don't know if you call this a rant or a musing or a pondering or what it is, but I'm out here enjoying how pretty this winter weather is. It helps that I lived above 10,000 feet in the mountains of Colorado for a number of years, a lot of years. And so I guess I'm kind of more adjusted to that kind of thing. But where other people are losing their minds and scared of what tomorrow's going to bring and how they're going to keep their house warm and if they're going to be able to cook their food, I can come out here and just see how beautiful it is. I mean, look at the ice crystals on the trees. Isn't that magnificent? I mean, it is just so cool. The way they're built up and sticking on, and yet so fragile that if you touch it wrong, it all falls off. That's also a testament to how little wind we've had here over the last 12 or 15 hours. For something to build up like that, that's almost unheard of. There's the tiniest little bit of a breeze right now, which also makes it easier to be comfortable out here. Y'all probably saw that video from about 4 days ago on Sunday when it was not very pleasant outside. 4 degrees and 20 and 30 mile an hour wind, and froze up my camera. Speaking of which, I should look. No, we're okay right now. Anyway, this video went longer than I meant for it to. Love to hear what everybody else thinks about this. I hope whoever you're not one of the ones that's getting upset about this and losing your mind. I hope that you learned something from it, and more than that, I hope that you've been able to share what you've learned from somebody else. Anyway, that's enough rambling. That's my talk. It's about 25 degrees out here, which is warmer than it's been in about 5 days. I got a coat on, but not sure I really need it. I'm pretty sure I need it. Anyway, y'all take care.